Listen, every single election, whether it's local or national, the policies that actually impact your day-to-day life are shaped entirely by the people who actually show up. And if you're a Michigan resident, your voice in the upcoming elections matters immensely. But here's the thing, time is absolutely of the essence. Welcome to this explainer. Consider this your ultimate quick-hit, step-by-step guide to getting registered to vote online in Michigan before it's literally too late. So, I've got to ask, are you actually ready for Election Day? Because the clock is ticking, and I really cannot stress this enough. Michigan has some extremely strict cutoff dates for online registration. If you miss those deadlines, oh man, you totally lose the convenience of filling out a simple 5-minute digital form from your couch. Instead, you're going to find yourself dealing with some serious last-minute in-person bureaucracy. We're talking standing in long lines at the clerk's office, furiously digging through your files for physical paperwork just to prove exactly where you live. By tackling this online right now, you are saving yourself a massive headache later. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our step-by-step roadmap. We're going to cover eligibility, registering online, avoiding common pitfalls, crucial deadlines, what happens after registering, and finally, resources and next steps. All right, Section 1, eligibility and the stakes. Basically, who can vote? Here are the 4 core requirements you need to meet. Number 1, you've got to be a U.S. citizen. Number 2, you must be a Michigan resident. Specifically, you need to have lived in your city or township for at least 30 days by the time Election Day actually rolls around. Third, and I think this is pretty cool, you can register as long as you're at least 17 and a half years old. You can't actually cast a ballot until you turn 18, but you can get the paperwork out of the way early. And finally, you cannot be currently serving a sentence in jail or prison. Now, a quick aside for returning citizens. If you have a past felony or misdemeanor, or if you're detained pretrial, you are absolutely eligible to register. Oh, and for the college students out there, you actually have the flexibility to register either at your hometown address or your campus address, whatever works best for you. Moving on to Section 2. Registering online in minutes, step by step. If you meet those eligibility requirements we just talked about, the digital solution provided by the state is completely painless. To get this done right now, here are the 3 exact steps. First, grab your phone or open a browser and go to michigan.gov/vote. That's the official Michigan Voter Information Center. Next up, to use the online system, you're going to need to input your current Michigan driver's license number or your Michigan state ID number. And lastly, you just punch in the last 4 digits of your social security number, and that's it. You just navigate through a few super simple screens to confirm your personal info and address, and you're totally done. Now, because you're doing all this digitally, you might be wondering, hey, is my data actually secure? The short answer is yes, it's incredibly secure. When you register, you're officially certifying your identity under penalty of perjury. The Michigan online system securely cross-references the info you provide with the electronic signature they already have on file for your driver's license or state ID. And because all of this happens in real time, it completely eliminates the whole problem of incomplete forms. Like, if the data doesn't match up, it simply won't let you proceed. This keeps the voter rolls accurate and completely secure. Okay, Section 3. Avoiding common registration pitfalls, specifically address matching. So even with a brilliantly streamlined digital system, there's this one specific technicality in Michigan law that catches a lot of well-meaning voters completely off guard. In Michigan, there is a strict rule: your voter registration address and your driver's license address must be identical. The law literally links them together. If the residence you type into your voter registration form is different from what's currently on your driver's license, the Secretary of State will automatically change your driver's license address to match your voter registration. They'll even mail you a little address update sticker to put on the back of your physical ID card. So, pro tip here, make absolutely sure the address you use to register is your true, current residential address. Section 4. Crucial deadlines. We like to call this the 15-day rule. This is where that whole TikTok element really comes into play, because the rules completely change depending on how close we get to Election Day. You can absolutely register online or by mail if the election is 15 or more days away. But if you wait until we are 14 days or less from the election, the online portal locks you out for that specific election cycle. No way around it. At that point, your only option is to register in person at your local city or township clerk's office, and you will be forced to bring physical or digital proof of residency. We're talking a lease agreement, a paycheck, or a current utility bill. Honestly, save yourself the stress and just register early online. Let's actually look at how this timeline plays out using a sample election cycle. Notice the gaps here. If a primary is, say, on August 4th, the online cutoff triggers way back on July 20th. If you miss that online window, you have to go in person. But you would still have time to register online for a November 3rd general election as long as you hit that October 19th cutoff. The golden rule to remember here is this: always count backward 15 days from your target election date. That gives you your absolute final deadline for online registration.
All right, Section 5. What happens after registering? What are your next steps?
Okay, let's say you've beaten the clock, navigated the portal, and hit submit. Awesome. But it's completely normal to feel a little anxiety, wondering if your digital application actually went through. So let's look at the official processing system so you know exactly what to expect. First, your information is passed in real time to the qualified voter file. That's the official statewide list. Next, your local city or township clerk receives your application and processes it. And finally, if everything is accepted, the clerk is going to mail you a physical voter information card within about 3 weeks. Now, keep in mind, this card has some really useful info on it, like your polling location, but you do not actually need to bring it with you to vote. I want you to really notice step 4 here, the human element of this digital process. Your online application isn't just automatically rubber stamped by some computer. It's not completely valid until your local city or township clerk officially reviews and accepts it. And that right there is exactly why giving yourself that 15-day buffer is so absolutely essential. It gives your local officials the time they need to do their jobs and ensure the integrity of the voter rolls.
Which brings us to Section 6, resources and final steps for checking your status and finding support.
Look, even if you think you are already registered, or maybe you registered weeks ago and just haven't seen anything show up in the mail yet, you really shouldn't just cross your fingers and hope for the best on Election Day. We highly encourage you to use the state portal for more than just your initial registration. Head back to michigan.gov/vote to proactively verify your status. The system has these great tools that allow you to look up your specific voter record. From there, you can view a sample ballot, track the status of an absentee ballot if you requested one, and even find the direct contact info and physical address for your local clerk if you need some troubleshooting support. It really is a fantastic all-in-one election dashboard. Now, because policies and procedures can and do change, we have one final super important reminder from the state. Always verify your voter registration status and the latest regulations directly with the official Michigan Secretary of State resources. Ultimately, their documentation is the absolute final word. The elections are approaching incredibly fast, and local policies that affect your everyday life are literally on the ballot. If you aren't registered, do yourself a favor. Go to michigan.gov/vote right now and take the 5 minutes to secure your spot.